जोजोलोपा नगमा
जोजोलोपा
सुरु हाल खबर
फुक्क ठिकदु अनि चंगु हाल खबर
जीवन फुक्क ठिकठाक Well, that is Nagma Shrestha. Maro we've known each other back since 2012 when I got into the media industry. We are of the same age, but she's senior to me when it comes to media. She started her journey from 2009 and she represented Nepal in various platforms, and now she's taken up the responsibility of taking on Nepal in the pageant industry to the next level. So let's talk about that.
I'm excited. Yes,
so tell me a little bit more about Miss Universe, the whole pageant, and how did you get into it? I'd like to know more about it.
That's a long story. Do you want me to go on with a long
yes,
story?
Yes, of course. This is why, the
I'm
podcast is for.
I'm just going to summarize it, actually. Yeah. So how I started my pageant journey, since the age of 7, I always wanted to compete in beauty pageants. And from 2008, I started my pageant journey competing in a local pageant called College Ambassador. I was the runner-up there. Then 2009, I competed in Miss College. I won that competition. So the first impression of the pageant was so beautiful to me that I wanted to continue it. Okay? So my dream was always to compete internationally. So then I decided to go for the Miss Nepal competition in 2012. I won Miss Earth title. I represented Miss Earth. But at the backstage of Miss Earth during the finals, what happened was, finals ma chai I reached the top 8. Top 8 pachi chai I was obviously eliminated from that round. So backstage gaepachi I was super happy about my placement. I was like, whoa, I reached till top 8. That was the first time any Nepali reached in the finals. So I told myself, yatisamba ta pugna sake, I think I can do even more. I can do even better in the upcoming contest. So at the backstage of Miss Earth, I decided to go for Miss Universe.
Wow.
But the funny reality was, Nepal ma chai Miss Universe ko franchise thiena. So I had to work really hard to get the Miss Universe franchise in the first place. So 2017 ma chai I was the first Miss Universe Nepal. I was nominated as the first Miss Universe Nepal. And then 2020 ma chai I decided to take the leadership of Miss Universe Nepal and give it the deserving recognition that it needs in Nepal. So that's where I am at the moment.
How is that journey going on? Because, Hidden Treasures when you involved in त्यो बेला, now you've taken the spearhead of the responsibility of spearheading this pageant and taking it to the next level. It was just a part of Miss Nepal pageant paila,
Yes.
And you're doing it in a separate, big, grand way. And I can see that on social media. I can see that everywhere you've been promoting it,
Yes.
and you've been associated with big names with this pageant. So where do you think this is this the right path to take? Just to what is the feel like?
It is definitely the right path to take. Yes, it was with Hidden Treasures for 3 years. They did send amazing contestants to the Miss Universe platform. But I personally thought there needed some more changes in order for us to stand out in the international platform, in order for Nepalese contestants, Nepalese representatives to win an international crown. So I thought, if I take the leadership, I can take the decisions as well, and I can bring the change in various things. So that's how Miss Universe happened. The national director of Miss Universe happened. And we do have amazing team. My partners in Miss Universe are really great. My team is from Nepal as well as from different parts of the world. My production team is from Malaysia. My consultants / trainers, we are also taking from Philippines. So it's a global talent that we are using right now. So let's hope for the best.
So basically, केमा कुरामा नि compromise भनेको छैन.
No.
हैन?
Giving it our 100% full. I'm fully invested in this because this is something I'm passionate about, and I deeply believe that there needs to be some sort of changes, Vanira. So I am driven by that forces and no compromises at all, Jay.
So there was a lot of things lacking. Is what I get from what you said. Just
Yes.
अनि यो जुन कुरा ल्याक भइरहेको थियो that you've tried to cover it up.
Mhm.
Has it taken a lot to do that?
It has taken a lot to do that. And if you're lacking kukurama, I hope the other organizations as well, fill up those त्यो जुन जुन कुरामा चाहिँ हामी चुकिरहेको थियौँ पहिलादेखि त्यसमा पनि इम्प्रुभमेन्ट ल्याओस् भन्ने चाहिँ मेरो त्यही हो इच्छा बिकज आई वान्ट pageantry to grow and prosper as a whole. I just don't want Miss Universe to be there and the other pageants down there. I want it to be, like in the same level. And because this is for Nepal and this is for Nepalese, young women. So
मैले एउटा पेजेन्ट होस्ट गर्ने मौका पाएको थिएँ मिस ग्रान्ड नेपाल भनेर.
Oh, you did?
I did, and it lied in the top 5 pageant contest, in the world. That is what I got to know.
It is Miss Grand.
Yeah,
Yes.
and but then यहाँको जुन management system थियो, that was something that I got very disappointed of. I'm saying this like pretty frank and honestly,
See?
because it was very disappointing at that point of
Yes.
time. For me, I could only represent the pageant and the name right on the
And as a
stage.
host only, you could do
yes,
your
I
job.
did my full
Exactly.
thing. But I was somewhere down the line. किन यसरी लिन्छ? I mean, it's such a sensitive thing,
Miss Grand is
they-
one of
yeah.
the top 5 or 6 pageants of the world.
Yeah,
like,
and
actually.
I wanted जो पनि यहाँबाट गइरहेको छ
Yeah.
कन्ट्रीलाई रिप्रेजेन्ट गर्छ, this should have been the place where they get groomed. They are, properly
The
nurtured.
best preparation
त्यहाँ
from the
गएर-
country,
yeah.
yes.
त्यो मैले देखिनँ त्यहाँ. And that
Mhm.
was my very close contact with the event. त्यति बेला चाहिँ मैले प्रत्यक्ष देख्न पाएँ कस्तो चाहिँ के रङ जान सक्छ
ओहो।
भनेर हैन त्यति बेला. अनि now that you're doing this, के चाहिँ what differences are you trying to come up with in terms of stage पनि, nurturing the
Yes.
ladies who are going to join?
Mhm.
के छ?
First and foremost चाहिँ ग्रुमिङमै म फोकस गर्छु होला. पहिला पनि अब मैले धेरै pageantsहरू गरेँ, so I've done 7 pageants in my lifetime हैन. Different pageantsबाट different sort of grooming अनि सबै groomingबाट चाहिँ I've learned and I've grown from that grooming. Okay? And I respect my trainers and my choreographers for teaching me so many things. But हामीले चाहिँ after the winner gets selected, the winner also has to be groomed for the international pageant. त्यसमा चाहिँ we are lacking behind जस्तो feel हुन्छ मलाई हैन. Because नेपालमा we don't have like pageant coachहरू भन्ने trend पनि छैन नि त. बाहिर out of Nepal, especially in South East Asia countries-हरुमा चाहिँ there are pageant schools. Like literally girls go there to train themselves and groom themselves. Pageant coaches-हरु हुन्छ हैन. They train the girls in the best possible way, training in the sense how to walk in a swimsuit, how to walk in a evening gown, how to sit, how to talk, how to answer your interview questions, how to give the right answer for the question and answers in the final round, So grooming ma चाहिँ त्यो सबै कुरा पर्छ के. So हामीले जुन pre-grooming पाउँछ for the national competition, that is good.
Yeah.
That is no complaints in that. But I think we need to focus on the grooming for the winners as well because they still need to evolve for the international pageant. Why I'm saying this is because it's an international pageant. There are contestants from 90 plus countries who are competing for that one title, and those contestants उनीहरूले minimum पनि 3 months को grooming लिएर आउँछ के, like hardcore boot camp grooming जस्तै के. So if we can do that, our contestants will shine, will win the international crown. So my focus is obviously the grooming part and execution of the final show, which you mentioned, that has to be proper as well because it's an international franchise that you are taking. You have to live up to the standards of their international, their guidelines and their format and everything. So for this year, I can talk for Miss Universe Nepal.
Yeah, exactly.
So we are actually really focusing on those areas. We really want the best for all the contestants. Whoever comes and joins hands with us, not just the contestants, even the fans. I love my fans. And without the fans, I think we wouldn't have, been there. So my gratitude to the fans and obviously our focus is, and this year as well, we are doing it very differently. I already shared, we are going all digital. Why we are doing this? It's for the safety of the contestants, the fans, the team members involved. So we are actually taking care
Speaking
of
of
most of the
digital
things.
platform, you're planning to come up with a app, yeah, right?
Yes.
With an app on like in August.
End of August,
Yeah.
we're planning to open the registration through the app. So this is the first time in the world, because there has been websites and any virtual trainings or but different platforms matter. So this time app say it's the first time in Nepal, and the good thing. The exciting thing is we are developing the app in Nepal. So
Okay.
we're using Nepali talents. So see,
Wow.
the app
Have you
is
been satisfied with the way the progress is going on
I am
for the app?
so happy actually. Nepalese people are so talented. Like, wow, tech savvy people, amazing. So, अहिले जति पनि प्रोग्रेस मैले देखिरहेको छु, it's just I'm overwhelmed and mind blown by it. Okay? So you guys will have to obviously wait until August to see the app. So
How you app को development go, you're taking it to the next level. How is the financial backing? Yeah, in Nepal, we really see that financial crunch in events.
yeah.
And त्यो जुन support पाउँदैन, like यो event मा चाहिँ the one that you're spearheading Miss Universe Nepal भनेर हैन यता financial backing कतिको, are you hopeful or have you already struck a deal? What is it like?
So we just made an announcement a month ago, a digital announcement. But financially, we always say that Nepal is a poor country. We don't have enough money, but we do have some sort of resources. So we actually, resources, there is the maximum utilized forum. So that is what I'm doing, financial aspect. Production, like Nikalo Manira. So that is what I'm focusing at. And sponsors Kukurama say, yes, I've been getting amazing response from our potential sponsors.
That's very good.
Yes, I am.
Is it because Nagma Shrestha is associated with the name? What is it like? What do you think is the factor?
I think they believe in what our core motto is in the pageant, because there are so many changes this year. Our slogan is brave, bold, and beautiful, meaning we are looking for brave, bold, and beautiful. It's not just for the contestants, but brave, bold, and beautiful. It goes along in everyone's life. For instance, your life as well. You need to be brave, you need to be bold, you need to be beautiful, not just pretty face. Like, you need to be humble and kind inside and out, So that a brave, bold, and beautiful but we are trying to change the notion of beauty. Stereotypical society, you just walk in a beautiful gown on stage and then with a pretty face you become the winner. But no, beauty is so very vast. It's not just that. So we are trying to change that as well. Guidelines we have changed. We are just following Miss Universe guidelines.
It's basic.
Miss Universe guidelines was like 18 to 28 years. Some height, weight criteria. Miss Universe. So we are also following the same thing. Confidently beautiful say Miss Universe slogan it's brave, bold, and beautiful, and it's just much bigger. Trans women are allowed to participate in Miss Universe Nepal, and by these changes, we are trying to make it inclusive as possible, so that it shouldn't just be a privilege for a few people, few contestants.
It needs to be diverse.
Should be an opportunity for many people, not just in Nepal, but we have Nepalese girls all across the world. They should get an opportunity to participate as well. There are many changes in the rules, so I think I think the potential sponsors probably liked all these changes, and they just want to, share the space with me in this journey.
This is very interesting, Nagma. I mean, for someone who's been into the media industry, who's been into the pageant, and who's been well, experienced and you're doing this oil, and it's actually surprising too that जसले चाहिँ पहिलादेखि गरिराख्नु भएको थियो उहाँहरूले यो स्टेपहरु कहिले चाल्नु भएन.
उहाँहरूले पनि obviously they started आफ्नै तरिकाबाट हैन, they helped Nepal reach to some level. So I obviously respect them for doing that, अहिले बिस्तारै चेन्जेसहरु चाहिँ ल्याइराख्नु भएको छ, but I also hope that they bring more changes.
चेन्ज तर त टाइम अनुसारले त्यो छ नि, जुन टाइम अनुसारले जुन पेस अनुसारले जानु पनि भएन नि हैन. Do you think so, or what do you think so, like is it or not? Just yes or no?
Yes. Yes.
Because this तिमीले भनेको कुरामै I see so much of potential. कतिवटा लुपहोल चाहिँ कसरी कभर गर्न सकिन्छ, कहाँ पुग्न सकिन्छ, the way you're pitching things यहाँ damn, I mean, like, this is something big.
I always think, Jay, in my life that everything is possible. After say, you obviously need to have a goal, but you need to work equally hard to get that goal. अनि कुनै पनि कुरा चाहिँ हामी नेपाल सानो देश हो, गरिब देश हो भनेर we should not make that as a barrier. Same was for this pandemic, pandemic boy. Everyone was shocked. We were not expecting this at all. And हाम्रो पनि अब first year I am taking this. Our company is taking this Miss Universe franchise. And हामीहरू पनि, oh shoots, what should we do next? Because we were actually planning for a physical pageant, like a traditional pageant, but then it's not the end of the goal. Okay, you should never stop dreaming. Never, cancel your goals. But instead, you should think of different ways, reinventing ideas, and just get to that goal. Okay, see, that's unimportant. So you can go, twist and turns, but reach to the end.
I mean, the transition that you've made from being a student to a model, VJ,
Nagma,
you're one of the best VJs here that Nepal has seen. And you did it for quite a while.
I did it for 6 years. 6 years.
You did it for quite a while, and त्यो pressure थियो, added pressure थियो that you're a VJ, you're going to Miss Nepal, and
oh wow, that was
जित्नै पर्छ, let's see what she does.
Pressure, there's always pressure in competitions, in interviews, everywhere. But the VJ journey and the Miss Nepal journey, it actually complemented. VJ bata pani I learned so many things. I was just 16 when I started my VJ journey. Obviously, I'm sure you can relate to this. Nervousness, like up here, television, camera, so comfortable. So it took a while. But confidence just build up that helped me in the Miss Nepal stage back then. So, compliment pressure. I think when there is pressure, I work even better. So pressure is needed.
So you did a major in leadership, right?
Yes.
From Cornell University, which is in the US. And you've spent so much of time there too.
I did.
What are the cultural differences? Obviously, there's so much of cultural difference. But what is, Suruma first एक हप्तामै तिमीले एक्सपिरियन्स गरेको, do you remember that? First हप्तामै, wow, this is something different. Okay, this is something that we need to change, or something like that, and something like instantly clicked with you. Okay, we don't have this.
US or change in Nepal?
हामीसँग चाहिँ के फरक छ, like, or let's just say हामी, where are we lacking?
No, we're not lacking actually.
Okay.
Your details points are more share गर्छ US मा चाहिँ के चेन्ज ल्याउनु पर्छ चाहिँ I can share that.
Please do.
I'm just changing the question actually, but
please do.
US मा चाहिँ अब I've lived my whole life in Nepal. I did my schooling, I did my high school, I did my bachelor's in Nepal. अनि नेपालमा हुर्केको छोरी भनौँ हैन. So we were surrounded by happy faces, smiley faces, and humble beings के एकदमै hospitable छ नि त हाम्रो कल्चर चाहिँ. त्यो चाहिँ मलाई एकदमै ल्याक फिल भयो बाहिर, because they were just, I was in New York हैन, न्युयोर्कमा मात्रै त्यस्तो हुन सक्छ हैन.
Very nice.
न्युयोर्कमा चाहिँ people are too much focused on just earning and just getting the things done. I mean, they don't pause and relax and appreciate their life and appreciate the people around them. Okay? That was what was lacking there. Okay? For that, Nepal is amazing. As soon as I land Nepal and I touch down, it's so मजाको feeling आउँछ मलाई. एक त आफ्नो देश भएर पनि होला हैन. But there is this spiritual vibe in our country that actually makes me so peaceful and so happy instantly. That was the difference there हैन. अब नेपालमा भनेको चाहिँ उता चाहिँ people are disciplined. नेपालमा चाहिँ discipline अलिकति lack भएको feel हुन्छ मलाई चाहिँ हैन. Systemमा चल्ने चाहिँ खासै बानी छैन.
Too chilled, honestly.
Too chilled. Chill is important, right, guys? You need to chill.
Is this like two different worlds with two different extremes? Like एकजना चाहिँ एउटा चाहिँ एकदमै rush, हामी चाहिँ एकदमै laid back.
हामी एकदमै laid back नै हो. तर laid back हुनु जरुरी पनि छ. You need to chill, reflect on your life, reflect on what is happening, but don't do the reflection whole life. You need to balance it as well. That's what I would say होला हैन. अलिकति त्यसमा चाहिँ change ल्यायो भने चाहिँ Nepal is best.
Nepal is best.
Yes.
That is what your experience is. Right? See, I didn't think that you're coming back, first of all. So, my poster and it was a real surprise for me. Timi aako, and today, having this conversation, this is probably the most amount of time that I am getting to talk to Nagma and she's getting to talk to me. I mean, we used to meet in events and sort of things, and bye-bye, एकदम formal. But then, Nagma, what made you come back to Nepal? Like, you're going there for some time and you're coming back.
Yes, definitely. I came back to Nepal to bring changes. Changes not just in pageantry, but different things. Different things. So I could have done that from the US itself, but direct impact coordinate हुई. So I had to come back to Nepal. For me, बच्चादेखि नै I was like, देशको लागि केही गर्नै पर्छ. I'm here for a reason, for a purpose भनेर भन्थे हैन. So that was my driving factor. And my granddad, he's my inspiration for me to even come back to Nepal. My plan was always to come back 2 years maximum US. That's what I'm coming back. 2 years I studied and everything. But my granddad say every now and then he used to call me and he used to remind me, "Hey, Nagma, तिमी जस्तो मान्छे त नेपालमा आउनुपर्छ. You have to come back Nepal." I'd be like, होइन बा आउने नै हो, but I have to finish this and that भनेर. But he kept reminding me that Nepal भनेर. And obviously I had to do, thank you. I had to do the Miss Universe Nepal. So
see, let's talk about your grandfather a little, because I know him, I've seen him, and
You've
I've seen his
seen him,
work.
yeah.
You know, you've invited me to his exhibition
yeah.
quite a few years back.
Yes,
You know,
yes.
Has he been painting? Azai pani?
He is still painting,
Yeah.
and it's still as good as it was before. He recently was awarded with Rashtriya Pratibha Puraskar just a few days ago, actually. So that was a huge achievement for him, for us as a family. So he's still painting, and we recently made a TikTok together. So it's a fun relationship.
So
with my
your
granddad.
grandfather, being an artist himself, a creative person, I know. And the time he started at, where probably art was more of a के भन्ने अब एकदमै जुन बेला मानिन्थ्यो आर्ट भन्ने कुरा अहिलेको आर्ट र त्यति बेलाको आर्टमा के फरक छ लाइक डज ही share his experience like उहाँ जुन बेला प्राइम टाइममा हुनुहुन्थ्यो when he was a young man himself and now still he continues to do, he strives for his passion. के डिफरेन्स पाउँछौ तिमीले? What does he say, what does he express?
Yeah, different say, you know what, one thing he told me was art गर्ने मान्छेहरूको चाहिँ there's a different world भनेर भन्नुहुन्थ्यो कि उहाँले, and that world is the world where you can be free and be creative. Okay, so I think that world has been constant since the like early days of his art journey and till date as well. So when he arts, he's just a different person, and the way he puts his colors on the canvas and when he sketches on the canvas, it just makes you think as well. Okay, wow, is he actually in that world and is he doing this vanera? So I think it's the same.
Do you paint as well?
I do.
Yeah?
I do, yes. My granddad is my teacher, and I do some landscape, sometimes abstract. So I do.
But you
paint.
never have given a thought like you'd want to exhibit
Hey,
your painting.
If I do exhibition, you'll be invited.
I'll get known.
Of course
And the-
you will.
Have you thought of it though?
Not really at the moment. I do it as a hobby. During this lockdown, say धेरै नै गरेँ मैले painting.
That kept you alive during lockdown.
That
One of
keeps
those
me-
things.
I'm happy. It's very peaceful to art. So I used to go to my granddad's and he used to teach me something. And मलाई चाहिँ धेरै राम्ररी वा कस्तो बनाउन आउँदैन. So he obviously taught me how to make Ganeshji, Shivaji and everything. So that was interesting
Now
journey.
you can carve Ganeshji and Shivaji.
Yes, I think so. I can.
So was there any pressure from home? Like, what is your relationship with your granddad? Ekdamai close, so like, are you very close with your granddad?
I am close with my granddad. I have respect for my granddad for whatever he has done and how he has inspired not just me but my cousins and everybody. So I do have respect for granddad. Not just with my granddad relationship. I'm very close to my grandmom, granddad's wife, grandmom, and the whole family. My mother's family side ko chai ho, granddad chai haina. So maternal side ko family ma chai I'm very close, and the relationship with my like the first family, my dad, mom, and brother, is super cool. So they've been super supportive since the beginning. It was a little bit difficult to convince my dad for media, for pageantry, because
that was about more talking about
yeah, because पहिलादेखि नै हुन्छ नि मिडियामा जाने बित्तिकै त्यो अर्कै सोचाइ थियो रहेछ कि अनि मोडल भन्ने बित्तिकै लाइक हुन्छ नि लाइक द वर्ड vulgar used to be used a lot and so
it's not like that, by the way. You know, we've made our living through it. We are trying to make our career, right?
Exactly. त्यही त अनि after I started doing it, मेरो dadले अब first hand देख्नु भयो how does it work and what happens भनेर. So eventually he started supporting me. Initially it was really difficult to convince my dad. My mom was always supportive. She was like, do get it done. Even pageants ma जाँदाखेरि पनि म लुकी लुकी जान्थेँ, फर्म पनि लुकी लुकी फिल गर्थेँ हैन. And I just used to tell my mom मैले फर्म भरिसकेँ, मलाई पैसा चाहियो भनेर के. And dadलाई नभन्ने, and dadलाई चाहिँ पैसा माग्ने टाइममा मात्रै dad I need money भनेर जान्थेँ.
What used to be the feeling like उहाँको expression के हुन्थ्यो?
सुरुमा त किन गर्न लागेको. Even media-मा पनि he was not really happy, you know, that I was starting this VJ journey. So सुरुमा चाहिँ he was obviously concerned. As a concerned father, he had a lot of questions. Why this field भनेर. But पछि चाहिँ with the examples, I kind of showed him that this is why भनेर.
So now he's convinced, right?
He's convinced.
So
now.
you
can't do anything now.
You've got an awesome entrepreneurial, mindset. मैले त्यो बुझेँ. Because I had this conversation with Mr. Saurabh Jyoti a year back, and he said, आफ्नै परिवारलाई convince गराउन सकेन भने कसलाई convince गराउने त? And now you've convinced your dad, like showing him, you know, not just with talks, but with the doer's attitude.
Yes.
गर्यो भनेर छ नि. Do you feel proud about that? Like, was it like one of those achievements in life that
it was an achievement. I remember one particular incident when I was in high school. Oh wow, thank you. Ooh, vegan stuff.
Vegan. Thank you so much.
That looks amazing. Thank you so much. So where was I?
Yeah, so it wasn't a big achievement भनेर कुरा भइरहेको थियो.
So म high school मा हुँदाखेरि I studied in United Academy. United मा चाहिँ
Even strict, sorry? United?
Strict, that was one of the best experiences for me. I was the president of the students council back then. I was the most active. Okay, school I was very shy, but I opened up in my high school. So United Talent Hunt भनेर एउटा competition हुन्थ्यो. त्यसमा चाहिँ विभिन्न categoriesमा competition हुन्थ्यो के. मैले speech को लागि चाहिँ नाम लेखा हैन. I was a very shy person. कहिले पनि त्यो नबोल्ने मान्छे, but I thought हुन्छ नि अब भोलि पर्सि I need to compete in international pageants. बोल्ने चाहिँ I have to learn भनेर. So then I decided to go for a speech competition. अनि कति धेरै थियो कि contestants पनि. And finally, finals day I was in top 5. Finals day I did that. And I actually won the competition. Like won the speech contest. That moment my dad was also in the audience and I could actually see it, like his eyes watering. And that for me was the
moment.
The moment. And dad also was convinced, I think, after that moment. I'm going to start, okay?
Yeah, please do. मलाई अहिले तिमीले ठ्याक्क बोलिराख्दा मलाई जल्दी SMS and more को I remember that image in front of me when you're in, image channel.
Hi everyone, send me messages, Bunny.
Was there so much of creativity at that point of time when you used to read messages? Did you find it, creative? What was it like? Because मैले हिमालय टेलिभिजनबाट जब calling program सुरु गरेको थिएँ, first few months it was amazing, but then the same process started happening, and I'd never want to go back and do a calling program again. Just
okay. So going back to image channel days, as a VJ, you always have to be creative because those were live shows and you don't know what's going to come at your face. As a VJ Nagma, I was creative, I think, but as the show, as you mentioned, could have been more creative. And now time has evolved so much. SMS पनि पठाउँछ र छैन नि हैन. They use WhatsApp or Viber or whatever. So with time the shows must be creative, okay? So yeah, that's what I think.
त्यति बेला सोशल मिडिया भर्खर आइरहेको थियो नि त, right? 2009 was the year,
When we were like, sorry,
yeah, please take your time.
when we were doing this competition, even I talked to my girls, Subeksha and Srishti,
Yeah.
we tell, okay, हाम्रो बेलामा त Instagram पनि थिएन.
Yeah, no.
Like, अनि Instagram पनि थिएन. We could not even, अहिलेसम्म एउटा photos पनि छैन क्या हाम्रो international pageants को. त्यतिखेरदेखि Instagramहरू भएको भए maybe त्यो पनि हुन्थ्यो. तर Facebook was there.
Yeah.
So I had so many pages in Facebook, like.
त्यति बेला त लाइकको लागि छ नि, there are so many campaigns going on for like, हैन, हरेकले फेसबुक पेज लाइक गर भनेर पनि आउँथ्यो हैन.
एकदमै
अनि त्यो कतिपय सबसाइड भइसकेको छ नि त. Now talking about it, Shrishti, Subeksha, तिमी नै भन. You guys, you ladies are one of the most popular influencers and popular people on Instagram or just say Facebook. And how does it feel, How does it feel? Is it?
Am I popular?
Pretty much. Come on, you got so many followers there.
Yeah, followers doesn't define popularity. Sometimes there are dead followers as well. People just buy followers. I'm just saying it loud, but me, Shrishti, and Subeksha, we've got this amazing bonding. I'm very thankful to that, and also thank you to all the people who have always supported our friendship and cherished our relationship. And हाम्रो friendship चाहिँ, we've always been so understanding. We've been friends for the last 8 years. 8 years. And सुरुको year देखि नै we were so mature in that zone. Okay? पहिला चाहिँ कतिले चाहिँ हैन, like Miss World, Miss Earth, Miss International, अलिकति खिटपिट हुन्छ, फाइट हुन्छ भनेर भन्थे कि. तर हाम्रोमा चाहिँ we were always like, we need to support each other because there's no one else who's supporting us. So international pageant मा जाँदाखेरि पनि एक अर्कालाई सपोर्ट गर्ने हुन्छ नि, ट्रेनिङ्सहरुको लागि, लुगाहरुको लागि मिलाइदिने त्यस्तो. So it started from the beginning. Okay? So they bonding चाहिँ अहिलेसम्म पनि continue.
I seriously believe that it was just for the until the time
it was just for the Facebook.
Facebook or Instagram, or just for the period like यति Instagram को लागि मात्र, or यो वर्षको लागि मात्र, until this another Miss Nepal happens जस्तो लाग्थ्यो के मलाई. तर
we are like a family.
Yeah, अहिले पनि like when I saw you guys' TikTok.
Oh yes.
हैन, हिजो कि अस्ति मात्र अनि मलाई कस्तो like wow, the bond is still there. Friendship actually matters to them. It is not just about three ladies just posting it for the social media. It was for something more. भने जस्तो भयो के मलाई.
Yeah.
So what created this bonding? Because you guys just met for the pageant.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people actually disperse, are busy in their own life after the pageant. But then you guys are like still intact. सबैजना आफ्नो लाइनमा बिजी छ, त्यही पनि यस्तो बन्डिङ चाहिँ किन, like understanding भनेर हरेक कुरा. Do you share everything?
Of course we share
दुःख सुख सबै शेयरै हुन्छ.
सबै नै, we are like a family now, we share everything. And my girls, they always support me even in this journey, and it has been so challenging for me to get to this stage, to get Miss Universe thing in 2017, and then this national directorship. But my girls has always been super supportive. Okay, you always say there is a behind every successful man there is a woman behind. But behind every successful woman there are so many other women beside her. Okay, so these are the women in my life, and that support system has always been consistent. हाम्रोमा पहिलादेखि understanding थिँदै थियो. We complement each other. We all are not the same. We are completely different. I'm a different personality. Shrish, on the other hand, is very kind, innocent, and the ati humble manche, Shrishti. Subeksha, on the other hand, is very bold but brave at the same time. Of course, beautiful. I'm just using the tagline, but
no, actually it defines.
It the tagline actually defines.
It gets implemented in real life too. I mean, it's not just for a pageant or just like that. It actually is there.
Yes, my girls are brave, bold, and beautiful. They've always been super supportive to me till date, and we obviously will continue this friendship turned family forever, I think.
Are they like, do you guys fight?
Yes, we do.
Yeah, this was a पक्का friendship. This was not just there's no formality भनेपछि तिमीहरु गर्न यो नजाने there's like no चाहिँ सजिलै भनिन्छ एकअर्कालाई
एकदमै we are very cool with each other. के कुरा चित्त बुझेन भने we fight, we snap at each other, but there's always the third person coming to console. Okay.
And interestingly, three of you are equally successful individually until this day as well.
So.
You've not just faded out after the pageant and everything, you know. What has caused the success story? Teenage यतिको successful, you know.
एकअर्काको सक्सेसले पनि हामीलाई चाहिँ मोटिभेसन भएको हो कि एक्चुअली चाहिँ and that always was a driving factor for us. If Shrishti was doing good, then we would be like, wow, we need to do even better and we do good, Shrishti will be like, oh, I need to gear up on it. So that too, and we always give constructive criticism to each other. Hey, do this. I think this should have been done like this. So these kind of
I'm so into your you know, conversation.
So oh wow, okay. So then you know, Shrishti, Subeksha.
So one thing that you're yet to try out is films. Both of them have already tried their fate out in films.
Must have got I'll be very frank. I enjoy watching films, but I don't know. Maybe I would just do a cameo, whatever role.
Have you been offered? I'm sure you've been.
I have been offered.
Couldn't be like right after the Miss Nepal thing, or?
Not right after Miss Nepal, but eventually it started coming. But my question was, मेरो hero चाहिँ को हुन्छ?
Hero को चाहिन्थ्यो फेरि?
Because you know that I'm fairly tall for a Nepali girl, you know.
It shouldn't matter, does it? Like it doesn't matter.
That's secondary for me in my life
तर
as well.
film line मा चाहिँ के छ त्यस्तो, like is it like glamour industry मा के छ?
Film मा मलाई कहिले पनि हुन्छ नि त म एक्टिङ गर्छु फिल्ममा खेल्छु भनेर कहिले पनि भए छैन. सो मिस नेपाल हुने बित्तिकै अथवा मोडल हुने बित्तिकै फिल्म खेल्नु पर्छ भनेर केही जरुरी छैन. I'm an entrepreneur right now and I think this is my forte. So
okay. तर have you been like my question like मलाई जिज्ञासा भएको कुरा चाहिँ have you been like told like हेर्नु न हिरोको हाइटै मिलेन or something like that के?
ए भनेछ त्यस्तो त सबै केसेसमै हुन्छ
सबै in my case कपाल छैन नि त दिन्छ के मलाई चाहिँ. There's so much of things going on in the industry, you know.
Yeah, there are tricks and ways of getting things done. You can wear wig.
Yeah, but I don't want to, you know. I'm proud of this. And if the role demands, demands is a different story.
Yeah.
You know, I'd love to, you know. Yeah. But if the role demands, but then sadly I don't have any offers.
You have to create your own role. You have to make your own movies. You better do that.
Someday for sure.
Yeah.
Someday for
sure.
You
have an amazing thing, so of course.
Yeah, I think my producer पनि मलाई back up गर्ला. He was like, you know, the other day he was saying, Jay, you have to be the most unique hero. यार तिमीमा hero personality छ भनेर दिइरहेको थियो मेरो प्रोड्युसरले चाहिँ. हैन? So
producers have a team actually.
Yeah, I'm actually blessed with this wonderful team of amazing guys. मलाई edit पनि राम्रो देखाइदिन्छ. You be assured that you know edit मा दामी गर्छन् यिनीहरुले भनेर. अनि like मलाई चाहिँ I remember this incident of mine at HFM. I was placed I was supposed to host HFM Music Awards 2072 सालको, and I was with my hosting with a friend of mine called Kripa Nyopani. She's in Australia right now, and she's fairly tall. She's taller than I am, right? And I'm like, I didn't have any insecurities. I'm like, I'm enjoying that. You know, I'm enjoying the time. I'm enjoying the time with her. But then I don't understand this fact that, you know, why do men have to be taller than women? Why is it a thing? I know acceptable. You know, why do we not accept?
It's the same like why do men always have to marry a woman? LGBTQI. So पहिलेदेखि चलिरहेको trend. पहिलेदेखि the men has to be the stronger one. The male has to be the taller one, and then and partners मा पनि बिहे गर्दाखेरि पनि shorter ones they खोज्छ the female हैन. So it needs to change now. For me as well, personally, म पनि पहिला award shows-हरु host गरेको छु. My partners were always shorter than me, but they never made me feel uncomfortable, okay? Because they've already accepted हुन्छ नि त. This is how it is. Like this is how she is or something like that.
कुनै बेला चाहिँ फिल्म अफर आएको ल गर्दिहालौँ भने have you ever like taken the step like गर्दिन्छु ल हेर्दिम न भने?
छैन कहिले पनि भएन त्यस्तो चाहिँ.
कहिले पनि भएन?
Never.
It never intrigued you, never.
Never.
Wow.
I love watching films. I love watching मेरो साथीहरुको filmsहरु हैन. I support them a lot.
Have you been harsh with them, like in terms of critics or के खेलेको यार फिल्म भनेर?
Not like that, but I do give constructive criticism. I'm gonna take this one.
Yeah.
के खेलेको यार जे पाइदै त्यस्तो त म कहिले भन्दिनँ हैन. I would rather say, well, that was a really amazing role, but you know what could have been even better? Maybe this यो गरेको भएछ अझ राम्रो हुन्थ्यो होला. That's how I criticize people.
How does the food taste?
It's really good. You should try one
Old
of it.
house we're in, हैन DurbarMarg.
म चाहिँ vegan, पुरा vegan.
Yeah, how did you get into veganism?
It started a year ago in New York. My friends were vegan, so they actually influenced me to go vegan.
Yeah.
And there were so many vegan restaurants, and जहिले बाहिर जाँदाखेरि चाहिँ म vegan restaurant choose गरेर जान्थेँ. And vegan optionsहरु पनि धेरै थियो के, so that actually helped me get into veganism really quick. Like fake vegan cheese, fake Beyond Meat, Impossible Meat and all, you know. So that's how I started. Nepal आएर चाहिँ, I'll be very honest, completely vegan हुन सकेको छैन because कहिलेकाहीँ cream खाइन्छ, कहिलेकाहीँ घिउ खाइन्छ. So veganism भनेको चाहिँ dairy products पनि खानु हुँदैन and no meat products. So yeah.
It's such a commitment, right?
Yeah, but it's very easy. There are so many beautiful options. See, this is an amazing vegan food.
Okay.
I know.
It is. It tastes like amazing. Onion.
Very healthy, high protein and vegetables.
Let's talk about leadership, right? Clearly, there's a lack of leadership in the country that we've been seeing, and you've raised your voice against this as well.
Of course.
Recently, and
Yes.
enough is enough, Anya. What was the instant click like when you saw it first on social media? Enough is enough, Anya. You jun chalyo Lahar. What is the first post dekhne bitige? What was your impression to it?
First post, I was one of the
initiators
of it. So
so the idea.
Yeah. Like there were other people as well, but my solidarity was with it because it was high time for us to speak out because I was obviously not satisfied with what the government was doing, especially during the pandemic. I mean, there are so many things that the government is failing to do properly, you know, and so many issues were coming up as well, okay, like Dalit Torko issues during the pandemic. But then, why enough is enough? It was actually enough back then. We were in lockdown for about 2 months. The government was, they were not doing anything. And it's already news mounts in quarantine centers or quarantine centers were like incubation center for coronavirus. It was in such a bad state, and people who were coming in Nepal, they were forced to stay there, you know. There were migrants issues happening border side. I don't even call them migrants. They're actually Nepalese people. They didn't get job in Nepal, so they went to India to work. So they're just coming back home because home is the safest place for everyone. But what was the government doing? Nothing. Personal level matter. There were people like Maggie and so many other people in Karnali Pradesh. They were like doing their things. We were helping them, but that was supposed to be done by the government. So there were multiple things going on. So the incompetent, asaksham government, some of us were talking, and then we were like, social media post social media, I was like advocating, this is not happening, this, but keep nothing. So we decided to do a protest first, which later on turned into a movement because everybody like sort of replicated that same movement, and Kathmandu बाहिर पनि कति ठाउँमा हुन थाल्यो हैन. So that was the major thing, what instigated us or what encouraged us to come out. And youth is the
youth.
Yeah.
That is what I was getting into.
So youth, they are the present, they are the future, and they are the influencers. Influencers but we are not only the ones who are influencers. The youth as a whole, I think all of them are influencers, and they have a voice, and they need to utilize their right to, you know, give their opinion or to express their thoughts, either a virtual platform or through a movement. So that was what happened, and it did make few changes, I can say that.
So
it took a while.
हामीहरू politically literate छौँ जस्तो लाग्छ, like the urban youth, हामीहरू, this generation.
I think this whole movement also kind of movement हुनुभन्दा अगाडि कतिलाई थाहा थियो RDT भनेको के हो, PCR भनेको के हो, गभर्नमेन्टमा यो छ भनेर कतिलाई थाहा थियो हैन. But त्यो movement लगतै awareness campaign पनि एउटा सुरु भयो कि. So the youth of Nepal started researching about it. That's what I think. Also research गर्न बाँकी छ होला, because education is always the first step to everything भनेर सोच्छु है मैले चाहिँ. So educate yourself, because politics is so important. People say that politics is, it's not my cup of tea and it's a dirty game. So I'd rather just keep it aside and just do my own thing. But politics is something that is so important to know about. In depth, जरुरी छैन सबै बुझ्नलाई, तर what is happening, say you need to know, because
do you have any plans to get into politics later?
Wow, actually after my
since you've done your thing in leadership as well, and has it influenced you or inspired you to get into politics?
So what happened was, after I did this Enough is Enough movement, I actually got a call from few
politicians?
Few parties.
Wow.
Few parties. And well, thank you so much for thinking of me, and that's what I would tell them. So they saw me giving out interviews and stuff. So they called me and they told me, and then if I was interested to join their political party. Okay?
And what was your answer like?
I actually politely denied, of course, because I have too much going on in my life right now. But
then that gives you a thought, like you'd want to get into it someday.
As a Nepali citizen, as a young Nepali citizen who has some sort of experience in her life, I would definitely love to share my viewpoints on different things. Maybe I would be an advisor or something like that. Politics might dance wonders. I don't have any plans as such, but the time will tell. My dad would be happy though. Let's see.
All right, the weather has its call. I have to, we have to end this right here. It gets as candid and as casual it is. This is Millennials of Nepal. And thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
I wish you the best. I wish you the best. And I mean, Nagma, you're brave, you're bold, and you're beautiful.
You are too.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here. Thank you for having me, and thank you for listening to me. And all the best to Millennials of Nepal.
Thank you so much.
That's it.
Thank you. All right. So that is Nagma Shrestha. You guys better go out and support her entrepreneurial venture. She's out there empowering women. You be out there empowering her as well, and all of us as well. So this is Jai Pradhan signing off. And as always, let that heart beat, for if you let it beat, it'll take you to all the wonderful places. Ciao.